Hello YouTube and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I want to talk to you about as you can see by the title, the GoPro Hero 5. I've had it for a few weeks now. Let me show you the box in case you haven't, but I assume you have. And here's the camera. Look at that autofocus. Loving my new YouTube setup. Oh, it's so dirty. So the GoPro Hero 5, GoPro's flagship camera, the latest and greatest when it comes to action, sports, compact cameras. There's a lot of stuff that I love about this camera, but there's a lot of stuff that I hate about this camera, and that's why I'm making this video. So to split it up, I'm going to talk to you about the positives first, and then the negatives in no particular order. So let's get going with the positives. First things first, and probably the best thing about the camera is the fact that it now comes with a screen. I couldn't believe when I bought the Hero 5, Hero 4 Black, the previous flagship camera, that it didn't have a screen, and you had to connect to Wi-Fi to set up your frame. The new screen is just, I mean, who buys a camera without a screen? It's just, it should have always been there. But the fact that it's on there, I'm really grateful for that. So thank you, GoPro. Number two, you know that GoPro wobble, the classic GoPro shake, because you put it on a selfie stick or a pole, and because the camera's so wide and light, it's not really steady and the image shakes. Well, that's in the past now with the new image stabilization built in, which is actually electronic image stabilization, if I understand it correctly. Really enjoy that. It just kind of makes it all really nice and smooth. Then we have, in my opinion, another really good addition. Something I hated about the previous GoPros is obviously it's a GoPro look, it's the fisheye look, but I don't love fisheye. I think it distorts the image for no good reason. They've added the linear field of view, which pretty much pulls all the lines straight, and it's just a great value add to this little camera. Another good change with the new GoPro is the fact that it is waterproof without a case. So the whole camera in itself with the screen and everything is actually waterproof. This case that it comes with isn't really a case, it's more like a little skeleton, and it adds the mount so that you can mount that to all your accessories. Now the ports themselves are with these little push buttons. Whoops, there goes the focus. Come on baby, do it, do it. There we go. These little push buttons, and they have this little rubber inside which seals it all off. It's quite nice, and it takes away the fear that when I know that I've often stressed about having the skeleton or the normal waterproof case with the open back for the audio on my previous GoPro, and I was always kind of stressing out that I would jump in the water with the wrong back port on the GoPro and then ruining my camera. That would have been stupid. That fear is now in the past with the new GoPro. What else? The price of this thing. I paid this one, how much did I pay? I paid $548 for this one. The previous one, that's Australian dollars by the way, the previous one I paid 650 something, so that's a good price drop, but I gotta say it's still quite expensive for this little camera, and we'll get on that later in the negative section. Another positive on the Hero 5 is the battery life. They've actually improved the mAh specification on the battery, which means it's got more juice and it'll go longer. And I think they've also increased or improved or made it more efficient, the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connection, so it doesn't drain the battery as quick. Crucial addition to the GoPro, finally they added RAW photo support. RAW is a way of storing the information that you capture while taking a photograph, whereas previously you would bake in data in a JPEG, which is a heavily compressed file. Now you have RAW images, meaning you can adjust white balance and up the shadows and the exposure and stuff in post, meaning after you've taken the photo, and it's just a way more powerful way of editing your photos than before. They've also added WDR, or wide dynamic range, which I assume comes close to high dynamic range, which is a technique where you combine exposures to get a wider dynamic range, which is none of the highlights will be blown out and none of the shadows will be too dark. That's more on the photography side of things, but if you want to know more about that, just Google it and you'll find plenty of info there. Major addition to this GoPro is the voice control. GoPro, take a photo. I can't believe that actually worked. That's pretty cool. I never really used this, but let's try it again. GoPro, start video. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta say that is pretty damn cool. GoPro, stop video. The last really cool addition to this GoPro line is the fact that it's got GPS built in. I don't know where the GPS unit is in here, but it is there. And when you take a photo, it actually records exactly where you were. And that's cool. If you load it in Lightroom, you can actually see it on a map where you took the photo exactly. And that's cool to share spots with friends, or to just, you know, reminisce about where you went on your trip. I know, for example, when I go to a country that I've never been to, I'll easily forget where exactly I went, and that's just a really helpful reminder for those things. That was pretty much it for the positives. Now it's time for the negatives, stuff I really fucking hate about this camera. Number one, I really hate this camera is the fact that it is buggy as hell for now, probably fixed soon with firmware upgrades, but if you're going to release a flagship camera, don't release it with buggy firmware. Make sure that it works 100%. That's just, and I know, you know, this is Canon, but Canon would never release a camera that has bugs in the firmware. This thing has corrupted so many photos and so many time lapses for me that it's almost unusable. I wouldn't want to use this on a professional shoot anymore because it's disappointed me too much. That being said, if you use it casually, it's probably fine, but I'm a professional and I need my gear to work. Number two, the touchscreen is just a bit slow from time to time and reacts oddly. Come on, mate, get in focus. Reacts oddly to my commands, which isn't always good. Again, you need stuff to just work, and I don't know what I did now. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't register when you tap. Maybe it's the fact that my screen's dirty, but I doubt it. Again, this is probably fixable with a firmware upgrade, but again, that should have been there from the start. Reason number three why I really hate this camera, the capture app. The fact that I have to log in to an app with my account and connect online to be able to access the settings and the photos and the videos on my camera makes zero fucking sense. Number four, it's the price. We talked about the price in the positive section as well, but that was only positive because it was less pricey than the previous model. The Sony action cameras are like half the price. When I went to the Philippines, I couldn't bring this one because I couldn't find it anywhere. And the previous one I had, the Hero 4, broke on me. So I needed one of those cameras to go shoot some underwater stuff with, so I just bought a Sony, and I paid $160 and I got a free memory card with it, which was awesome. Thank you, JB Hi-Fi at Sydney Airport. It just doesn't really make sense that the GoPro, yes, it's got all those extra functions, but it shouldn't be that expensive. I feel like their pricing is just a bit too high if you look at the competition's prices. Here's the negative that GoPro calls a positive, the new audio system. It's got like stereo microphones or something, and it like picks and chooses which microphone picks up the best audio. The few times that I've used this for video where I was recording audio, the audio was horrific, like actually terrible. I don't know what I did wrong, but it should be a plug and play camera, and I shouldn't have to think about which audio setting specifically that I should be using on this little thing. It should just start recording with decent audio, and it did nothing but record terrible audio. So please fix that, GoPro. Then the last thing, there's just this, it's a really small thing, but when I'm shooting 1080p video, the frame rates are limited to, and let me cheat sheet here, 120 or 90. Why can't I shoot 1080p at 100 frames? Because when I'm shooting 25 frames at 1080p and I want to shoot a bit of slow-mo, it makes sense to go times 4 to 100, right? Why is that 90 or 120? Surely if you can do 120 or 90, you can also do 100, right? What am I missing here? So far the negatives and also the positives on the GoPro Hero 5. Do you have a GoPro Hero 5? I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you experience the same bugs and the same terrible crap that I have? Do you experience the same positive things about the GoPro Hero 5? I would love to hear it. Also, if you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, please drop them in the comments section below. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. Maybe give this video a thumbs up. Let's see if we can hit 200,000 likes. That would be great. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.